Survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. Skirt, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? The warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This on that quiet stone. T-O-N-Y. Top of New York with a pitchfork.
I seen the best of them, Jando. 25 to life in the can't stop. Never met a man that they can't.
Oh, Henry! It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on...
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Derrick Henry. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met him in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
2nd down, here's Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
Well, to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Inside. Hey, check 26.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now it's Rodgers. He gets it to Brown, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. And just on Wednesday, he was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for that over 100-yard performance he had last week.
Deservedly so, and I enjoyed our time with him and asked him how he got it done. What did he see? And he said film study, watching what the defenses were going to present, understanding how to defeat those. And then he was a step ahead because he said, then they're going to change up and counter another way. And he beat them that way, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A good chance. This is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon.
Let's go, come on. Strong right.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to get them inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a...
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure it's just a little bit extra.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now Rodgers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Antonio Brown hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are in for 6. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will he?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they will be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting,
offense.
A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Cut.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And Henry's hit. He lost the football.
Wow. That gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go deep for fun. He's got a man complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
88, 26. Zoom.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Slant route caught by Edelman. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing is Rodgers. Flush to his right. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Rob Gronkowski, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Now, that was simply frustrating for the defense. They did everything they were supposed to, including putting a hit on the quarterback as he delivered the ball. Yet, it still resulted in a touchdown against them.
Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And
the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll wind up getting some up for 3rd down. Back to throw. And he's got Gresham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. Goes underneath for Henry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the second time. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have...
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And he quickly clocks it, and they're going to have a good shot at getting 3 here before the break. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And it's third down. And Gold is able to put it through. So we are at halftime here. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. Right back to him on first down. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Man open left side is Brown. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Again, it's Henry. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that?
Here we go.
The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus,
Yeah.
On the mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll look to throw here. Caught left side by Funchess. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He dumps it off for Henry. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to throw again. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get out.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They're going to look to throw, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Carlos Dansby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Falcons on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Here's Rodgers to throw. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended target. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Flashes another juke. And down inside the 15 he goes. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete. The safety, Ross Cockrell, there to knock that one away. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll run it here. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, that's Sanders. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And Sanders now to return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, the win here means it'll be a 7-1.